It is Sunday, April 17th, the year 2022. My name is John Molden, owner at Blood, Sweat, and Tears Concrete. I'm here with my co-hosts, Magnus and Carly Molden.
Hi.
And this is...
No Crying in Concrete.
Very good, guys. All right, Magnus, what is the question we will be answering this week?
Why was my concrete contractor use concrete pump?
Yep, why would my concrete contractor need a concrete pump? That's right. Very good, bud. Now, if you're kind of going through the process of getting a, concrete project going, you've probably gotten a bunch of bids. You've probably noticed that all your bids are different in many ways. Different contractors do things differently. And some of them are going to have a concrete pump included, and some of them are not. They're not going to say anything about a concrete pump. And a lot of guys with smaller pours, they'll just put a team of wheelbarrow people together, and they'll wheelbarrow all that mud into place, and that works just fine. But we're going to talk about what I think are the three main reasons why the pump just might be the right answer for your project. So, Carly.
Yes.
What are the three main reasons to use a concrete pump?
The meth, the terrain, and the Arizona heat.
That's right. The mess, the terrain, and the Arizona heat. So, Magnus, do you remember when you were pushing wheelbarrows across the yard for the dirt for the garden and stuff, for the planter boxes? You and your sister? Did you have fun with that, or was it just kind of a lot of work?
It was fun.
But it was fun.
A lot of fun work, yeah. I might have helped you a little bit, huh? Yeah, because it was a little bit hard. And that's part of it, but what we're going to talk about first is the mess. In the early years of my concrete career, it wasn't exactly, a rare event to see the new guy spill a wheelbarrow full of concrete. Back then, the penalty for spilling one was a 24-pack of beer that you shared with the guys at the end of the week. And even though the beer was always great, the cleanup surely was not, And especially if it was on, like, somebody's driveway or sidewalk or in some decorative landscape or something like that, it could really set a bad tone for the homeowner in those cases. Carly?
Yes.
Have you seen a concrete pump on a job site yet?
Yeah, I've seen them at several job sites.
Yeah, you've gone with to a lot of different Tuesday Lives, haven't you?
Yep, and a lot of them, like the first one, I think it was, I remember getting there and there was the concrete pump.
Yeah? What did you notice about the pump?
It shoots the concrete out, like, pew,
Yeah?
pew,
Kind of cool, huh?
like that, like a Nerf gun.
Like boom, 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 and just puts it right in place, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Kind of noisy though, right?
very noisy.
That is one downfall about it, is the noise, but we put up with it. We make sure all the neighbors know that it's going to be noisy, and we love using a pump. So now, on a normal job site where it's been wheeled into place, once those wheelbarrows finish bringing the concrete in, you kind of get to the next kind of phase of the messy issues, and that's that you have to wash out the wheelbarrows that you just use to bring the concrete in, and you also have to wash out the chute of the truck. And it becomes a little problematic, when these yards are all completely landscaped and everything's beautiful, and you really have no place to set up to wash it out. So we end up, asking the homeowner if it's all right to pull the rock back, and kind of settle all the solids out of the water, dump the extra water there, cover all the rock back up. It becomes quite the process. And then we still end up taking all that solids that settle into the bottom of the wheelbarrow home with us. We have to strap them onto the the trailer and haul them home with us. So it's kind of a dirty job when you're wheelbarrowing, and the pump isn't perfect, but when the pump goes to wash out, they actually wash the truck chute down into the pump, so the whole truck chute is all clean into the pump. It comes out of the pump, and then they use like a J-shaped hook to go into the concrete truck, so then they wash the pump into the concrete truck. So all the mess goes out in the concrete truck, and then they dump it back at the plant. So that works really, really nice. The first time I kind of seen that, first time I used one of those trailer pumps, I was pretty blown away by that. So, Magnus,
Yes.
what is the farthest you have pushed a loaded wheelbarrow? I think I remember when you did it just the other day. So.
Last week or
Yeah. Remember when you brought that one over to the garden?
yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of you that day. He actually brought it from the yard next door and all the way over to the garden over here. I mean, it wasn't a full wheelbarrow, but full for him. And it was a good 300-400 feet. So I mean, he really put a lot of work into that. But I know he'll be pushing them a whole lot further in the future, won't you? Especially if we get into some of them jobs. For this job, what he was doing here, was pretty much flat ground all the way from one end to the other, and that worked. But when there's some more extreme terrain, maybe you have to think about using a pump. So I recall back in 1994, myself and the crew all considered ourselves like athletes at the time. We were in the peak of our physical ability. And we were all going to wheelbarrow a patio that day. And there was a steep hill about 60 feet long between the end of the chute and where we had to dump into that patio. And I mean, it was a steep hill. It was no joke. But we raced. We tried to, lap one another and bragged who had the heaviest loads over and over. And, it's no wonder why my knees are completely shot right now. But when I think back about that, I just shake my head. But over the years, we traversed planks and hills and valleys and, all sorts of things. But once we started using the pump, once we kind of saw the light, there's no turning back. If your yard is rough, please recommend that your contractor use a pump. These guys' bodies can only hold up for so long. So Carly,
Yes.
do you like gardening better in the morning or in the afternoon? In the summertime.
In the summertime?
Yeah.
Morning.
Yeah.
Because, in the morning, it's in, June and July, so in the really warm summer months, it's not as, warm in the morning times, and then again at the evening time.
Yeah.
And at night, but I'd rather, do garden work in the morning when there's sunlight than do it in the dark at night.
Yeah, do it right away as early as you can when the sun's just coming up, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's the only time of the day to be out there in the summertime here. I agree 100%. What about you, buddy? You like getting up early in the summer? Enjoying that part of the day when it's pretty dang nice still? So I recall, a warehouse, pole barns, tons of sidewalks, every shape of patio possible, and, that we wheelbarrowed from just ridiculous distances back in the old days. And it usually worked out just fine, but once the air temperature gets too high, you can have a hard time keeping up with the set of the concrete.
Have you ever done a rectangular
Oh, millions of them. Yeah. Hundreds, thousands, whatever. Yeah. Rectangular? That's probably the most common.
Yeah.
Why?
Have you ever done a square pad?
Yep, done lots and lots of square pads too.
I like the rectangle ones. Are they like, they come off like a regular square pad like we have out front?
Well, there's all different ones. A lot of times the patio will just be the length of a house and 10 feet wide, so it's just one big rectangle, you know?
What one do you think you've done more of?
Rectangles. Patios, rectangles for sure. Majority of them are rectangles.
What about driveways?
They're mostly rectangles, but there's always different shapes, you know. So, yeah, I mean, you know, we wheelbarrowed a lot of them, especially in Minnesota. We've wheelbarrowed plenty of them here, but when it gets hot, a responsible contractor knows the importance of getting the concrete on the ground as quickly as possible. That's kind of the big thing, you know.
Yep.
A pump just can't be beat for that. The other thing is about the pump that we use Dave Co concrete pumping, Rodney or his main man there. They come out and pump depending on which pump we need, and it's like having an extra guy on the crew. I mean, he's the one that operates the hose. He's right there, putting it right where you need it. You know, the guys don't have to work nearly as hard when he's putting it in place. And it goes really fast. We get it down really quick. We get it sealed up. We get it safe from the heat of the day. So it works really awesome. So do you guys have any questions this week?
Yeah.
What do you got?
So I know that like one or two of the lives that we went to, or that I went to anyways, there wasn't a pump there.
Mm-hmm.
And so why does there sometimes have to be a pump there, and why doesn't there sometimes?
So, like with a lot of driveways, we're able to back the truck right up to it and then just use the chute on the truck to pour the driveway, or the majority of it even. So if it's just a short distance and it's all flat ground, then we'll normally use a wheelbarrow or two, and we'll wheelbarrow a short distance of it and then put all the chutes on the truck and just pour it right from the back of the truck, because the truck pulls ahead as they pour it out. So not every, a lot of spa pads, they'll wheelbarrow them just because there's just not enough there to really justify bringing a pump in. It's a small amount of concrete. But once we get over 3.5 yards or so, we normally have a pump there.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought so. So how about you, buddy? You got anything
Have
you can...
you done any kind of like hexagons or anything?
We've done some, yeah. I can think of lots and lots of circles. And, every now and again you do an odd-shaped one. That's more of a hexagon or octagon
Have you
or
ever
whatever.
done a triangle?
I'm sure we've done triangle shapes at least off the edges of things, I don't remember doing just a regular triangle patio though. I don't recall ever doing one of those.
Does the pump for the truck, is it like attached to the truck and you can just pull it out, or does it have to be brought separately?
So the pump that we normally use is a trailer pump. So Rodney's got his pickup truck. It's just a Chevy pickup that pulls a trailer that the pump is mounted on. So he comes in, he pulls up in front of the job site, and then he starts rolling all of his hose out. His hose comes in like 20 or 25 foot sections. He lays it all out, gets it all to the site, and then the pump has got a hopper on the back. So the concrete truck can just back right up to that hopper, put a chute in there, and dump the concrete right into that hopper, and then it gets pumped right out the hose into the job site. Yep. Pretty neat, huh?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen one, bud? Noisy pumps?
I think so, but I don't know if that was actually the right thing or not.
Yeah.
don't know what they look like really.
I bet you have. We use them a lot.
I think I saw it on my first job site too, a pump.
That wouldn't surprise me. We
'Cause
do
he
use
had
that a lot.
his trailer and he was up on the side,
Yeah.
and there was like a water thing on there,
Okay.
and then there's a pump sticking out.
Was there a hose coming out the back and
Yeah.
going? Yeah.
That must have been it.
I
Probably.
bet it was, yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's kind of a cool thing, and like Uncle Dude, he uses boom pumps a lot.
What are boom pumps?
So that's a way bigger truck. That's like a 40-foot long truck with a big crane boom on top of it, and it unfolds, and there's a hose running along the whole boom crane, and it unfolds, and then the hose hangs down from the crane.
Oh, and then you take it and you go.
Yeah. You always see Uncle Dude moving around like this. And then the pump operator's got a remote control on his back so he can move the crane around. But they use those a lot when they're doing the big slabs and even some big driveways. And I've seen where he used it on a patio, even a big patio behind a house one time.
That's not a bad idea.
No, it's a really good idea, And if we did big enough pours, we'd use those too. But I mean, we've poured big 100-yard pours, and Rodney's done them with his pump. So it can be done either way. But he has to work pretty hard for it when we go that route. All right, you guys ready to sign it off?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess we can do that then. So, thank you for taking the time to watch again this week. We will be back next Sunday from the backyard kitchen answering questions you didn't know you needed to ask about concrete. Remember, there's no crying in concrete other than
the
Tears of joy brought about by a job well done.
Very good, guys. Say goodbye.
Bye.